You there a second.
Now we're live.
Oh, we're live.
As soon as you ducked out of the picture, we went live. Now you're
Well, yeah,
back and
I
we're
was
still
looking
live.
behind you for a second. I wanted to see if your chair was okay. Uh,
There's a big cat behind me who wants to be fed. So cautious when you go back there.
yeah,
We were talking as we were just coming on the air about the idea of all traffic radio, which actually exists on the satellite stations.
yes, you can turn on your satellite Sirius XM and get traffic that's all see it. Well, like the um they combine the smaller cities, but if you have like LA and New York, they have, I think, their own separate channels because there's so much traffic that it can go 24/7, and they're not going to be
Never
repeating
stops.
themselves all
No.
the time.
What about a market like Washtuna or Wenatchee? Did they combine those two and say, "Well, there's nothing going on here, and
I
I just
got to
want to
be honest
I
with
just
you, Michael. I don't think
want to
they do
re."
satellite radio traffic for Washtuna or Wenatchee or even Spokane, for that matter. The state's third biggest city, I guess.
Doesn't have enough traffic to merit a traffic report.
Well, there's traffic out in Spokane because you got the intersection there.
The interstate.
Route 2 goes one way and Route 90 goes this way, and you got 395 that goes up and down.
And
So
Pinky
there's
Brown's out painting his barn near Route 2. Pinky Brown, paint that
traffic
barn.
out there is generally, well, at the Air Force Base, there's kind of a 2-minute delay to get in. And at the casino, there's a 5-minute delay to get to the poker table or so I mean, there's traffic, but it's not.
We're short a couple dealers, so we're going to shut down the blackjack table until noon. Free
Yeah,
drinks.
and you go around it. I mean, it's not hard to go around the traffic in Spokane. I mean, everything, it's all land. So, I mean, here it's hard to go around the traffic because you basically got two roads that cross the canal. You got 5 and then you got 99. And you can use those to go up and down, but if both of those get blocked, you're
Then
up
you
the
must
creek without a
deal.
paddle.
You must deal with it because there is no coastal road.
You may as well just hang out and stop off for the Dick's Burgers and sit there and eat a couple of Dick's Deluxe and a root beer float, and party on, Garth. But I mean, it's funny because we used to make fun of traffic, and the traffic radio people and so on and so forth. And the reality is that now it's developed into such a huge thing. I mean, it's 24/7. They got traffic cameras, and you can. The problem is though now for people is you can go on instead of having to listen to the traffic guy, just go on your
Go on
phone.
ways. Go on ways, exactly.
But what they're not doing, Mikey, and this is something that we have to think about, you and I, is what if you ask people what they hate that's not political, what will they say?
They hate the weather.
Well,
They
but
hate
if
the
you don't like
Giants.
the weather, I think traffic. I think traffic is what people hate. I mean, everybody's I hate the traffic.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
it's like you
I
how can you be how can you be surprised by it every day? I mean, I live in LA. If you go out like I do to drive to Woodland Hills a couple times a week, takes 3 freeways to get there. When I run into traffic, I am never astounded, surprised, or I allow for it. It's there every day. So if you see it every day and you still hate it every day, you really got to move to Wisconsin.
Well, but there's traffic there too. You see, there's really no getting away from traffic. The way cities are designed, the way things are designed, you're just not getting away from traffic. So what I think, and where a lot of these places are, these stations are missing the mark, and if they want to save AM radio, much like they did in the '90s by going hate talk and hot talk, I think they should go to I hate traffic talk. I
So
mean, how would that?
opinion traffic, like Orange County should
Opinion,
be
yes, yes. Why do you hate traffic?
Orange
What
County
what
should
how
be
did these
impeached.
traffic engineers screw up?
The entire Caltrans board of directors should be prosecuted and jailed.
Yeah, I mean, why every time they put an extra lane on the freeway, it fills up right away? Why is it? I mean, and you could voice your it would give openness to a whole new class of personalities. I mean, you could
I think
have
I think it would open a chance for us to actually design freeways so that if there's a split between the 405 and the 101, there shouldn't be a slowdown at the split. Why is there
we don't
one?
want that.
Because
And you want to
it
put us
was
out of business.
badly designed,
You
poorly
want to put us
designed.
out of business, though. I mean, that's the thing. If you do that, then who's going to hate traffic? If traffic flows freely, nobody's going to hate traffic. And then what's a guy like Not in a Rush Limbaugh going to do? Who's on traffic? I
Well,
mean,
he'll
he's
tell he'll
big
tell traffic
personality.
lies. He'll tell traffic lies, Vinny, about the
Yeah, it's
origin
clear
of traffic
sailing
and the
on
reason behind
101.
traffic, the
Take
secrets of
101
why there's
all the way
traffic.
down. Don't worry about it. Clear sailing.
Well, when you're going by Nipomo on the Central Coast, you don't have to worry about it. When you're going through Highland exit on the Hollywood Freeway on the 101, you have something to be alerted to do.
Yeah, take I-5 south. Don't worry about it. There's no traffic at the Joint Base down there, JBLM. There's no traffic at all. Just head on down. Everybody leave at 8 o'clock on the button, and then you'll sit in the car. You'll get more upset, and they'll bring on more personalities. Hate traffic personalities. So that you'll have people that are staunchly anti-traffic, and they will get on there and they will talk about how much you hate traffic and how much you are helpless in the maelstrom of traffic, and
Are you calling
how
from your car? Are you calling from your car right now, Donnie from Queens? Are you in your car?
yeah, Rich,
Yeah.
pick off phone. Got to go with it. And it's Biden's fault because he passed this infrastructure bill, and you don't see anything yet. Where's all the money? Where's it all gone?
And it's not your fault, even though you're angry by traffic. It's a lot of other people's fault. And it's, in fact, a conspiracy to keep you from getting to work.
Well, again, it's a conspiracy to keep you in your car, to keep the oil flowing, and you have these liberals, these libtards as they call them,
Who think it
who
would be
want
easier to
nothing
get a
better
new
than to
freeway.
drive an electric vehicle and keep you limited to 200 miles a day.
You should have the
That's what
chance.
you see behind it.
You should have your own freeway. Anyone could have their own freeway. It's easy to do. They could build them side by side from here, from border to border, from Tijuana to Victoria, BC. Nothing but
Well,
trafficless freeways.
and what we
Plenty of
need to
room.
do is we need to stop this revisionist history about traffic. We
Like
need
it's our
to
fault.
we need to take all of the driver's manuals from all of the 50 states and have people look at them and take all the bad stuff out of them.
Trick questions on your driving tests to keep
Right.
you.
How many driving tests have you taken where you've seen a trick question, where you've looked and you've said, "My God, wait a minute, which answer is it?" That's not the government's job.
The
The
government job is to
government's
fool you
job,
into failing your test
yeah, the government's job is to give you a license.
or not,
I mean, it's right,
or
but
to refuse you a license based on the results of your trick question.
the it's clearly stated. Our forefathers clearly stated in the Second Amendment that you shall have a right to bear tires, to four wheels, and an engine, and it
Does it have to
doesn't
be
matter if
four?
it kills uh, uh, 200,000 people a year.
And the
See, that's what
seatbelt
people.
conspiracy
Well, that's a whole nother thing. See, that's taking away your freedom. You
to
should have a
die
freedom to go through the windshield.
and to bash your head against the steel dashboard.
If when you impact another car and your body does not, with the force of that collision, go up and go through the windshield,
Whose fault is
then
that?
you have been restricted by government. Then you, because you have been mandated and the police state is out to make sure that you're wearing your seatbelt, they will pull you over. If you're not, there was a time in this country, Michael, when we were younger, where you didn't even need a seatbelt in a car. We had the kids, three across in the front seat and one kid in the driver's lap.
Perfectly safe. There was nothing wrong with that.
And America was a great country. Nobody messed with America when that was true. When we had steering columns that would go right into your chest.
Sever you from your spleen.
And they'd have to spend hours cutting the seat out of the car and pulling your chest off of the steering column so they could take you to the morgue.
Those were the days of freedom. Freedom and
That was freedom, Michael. That's what freedom looked like. And we've lost that in this country. We've lost it. It all started, it was really nobody really thought about it, but it all started in Watergate. It all started when they put those 5-mile-an-hour bumpers on the cars.
I thought it started when they took the stripes off the Pontiacs, but that was a little bit before.
Well, that was about the same. Well, see what they did, Michael, and this is they kept the stripes, but they put them on cars that had, in 1969, you'd go and you'd buy a GTO with the stripes, and it'd have a 455, 400 horsepower engine on it, and just these little brakes that weren't going to stop that car. But that was America. Then all of a sudden, pull those big engines out of the car, they put stripes on 6-cylinder cars and called it a GTO or a Grand Sport.
And now we're in lines waiting for our exit, waiting for our merger, trying to get on the 405. And we go like sheep in lines. We're half asleep on the way to work. We have no mental acuity to be involved in our future because we're in traffic. And it slows our mind and it slows down the beating of our heart and the metabolism of the body. And we become casual. We become a casualty of the government's intent to keep us in line, to stop us from driving our GTO.
You're talking about exactly what's going on with self-driving cars. Why do they want self-driving cars? So that they can stop you from going where you want to go.
Yeah, the car tells you where you're going.
The car tells you where you're going, and the government programs the car to tell you where you're going. It's all coming from that satellite up in the sky that Musk keeps putting in the sky. Those little satellites.
Which follows your movements, but also controls where you can go.
Well, when you take that, and again, we're giving this idea away free on the air. I'm sure that Clear Channel or some radio company, Sinclair, is going to hear this and say, wait a second, these guys got an idea here.
All traffic.
And we're telling you right now that if you use this idea, we're coming after you. Our bevy of lawyers who all drive cars are ready to go.
They can drive right down to the courthouse and file our claims.
Unless you're thinking that you're going to help Mikey and Vinnie by giving us some money and letting us program a bunch of your stations with traffic hate, please don't even think of it. But we are available and we can be bought.
All traffic. Oh, we certainly can be bought. God, I hope that's understood from the top. No matter how many ideas we come up with, always remember we can be bought.
Right, and we are going to, as a concession to the drivers who don't want to hear it, we're not going to do traffic and weather together. Those words will never be uttered on our station. This is hardcore hate traffic talk. This is not for the faint of heart. We're talking about saving a country here.
And if the weather could contribute to traffic, like snow, rain, or flooding, we're not going to mention that. We're sticking to the format.
Well, yeah. I mean, why would we break format? Why
It's
would we
proven.
stop down traffic talk to throw in, unless the road was completely flooded?
I mean, look at our numbers in Little Rock and Louisville and Omaha and Des Moines.
Where they really hate I mean, they hate traffic with a passion.
In fact, they've hated it for generations, but people were just too quiet. They didn't want to speak up. They didn't want to think that traffic was important.
Yeah, people for years didn't want to talk about the big massacre in Tulsa, where they went out one night in the 30s and shot every black car that they could. Pulled them all off the road.
They were moody. It's not like that anymore. But in those days, they were extremely moody and would fly off the handle.
I think it's more like that than you would expect. But we need to do so. We need to, us, the people who hate traffic, need to band together. You see, that's the problem. Is we do not get argue. We are the silent the silent rolling majority, the horn honking people of the world. We're the ones that honk at people. We're the ones that when somebody tries to weave in, we get, to merge, we give them the finger. We don't let them in.
I had a person do that for real on the freeway Saturday night, where you join the freeway in Woodland Hills heading to Pasadena, and people are driving in the lane that becomes the far right lane, and they figure, like, I'm not letting these cars. Where are these cars coming from? They're coming from this on-ramp. What makes them think they can just get on the freeway with me? I'm on the freeway. I'm driving here. I'm in the slow lane. Why should I let you in? You're an annoyance, a danger, and a surprise. I'm a bit surprised to see people merging onto the freeway at this hour of the night. It's 6:30 in the evening. Where are these cars coming from? I'm not letting them in. It's just because if you do, there'll be more following them. You let this person in, what's going to follow them? There's another car coming, and he wants to be let in. No, I say stop it now. Don't let him in.
See,
stop him at the border.
You understand it, Michael. You are one of the rare people that get it. You're one of the rare people that understand hate traffic talk or traffic hate talk.
Either way, it depends on the market. Sometimes it's hate traffic talk. Sometimes it's traffic hate talk. Sometimes it's hate talk with traffic. Sometimes it's traffic talk with hate.
But what it's going to do, Michael, is eventually going to galvanize people that hate traffic to come up with a solution. And that solution will be shut down all the transit systems. I mean, you have these transit systems that are sucking money up. We have to go to the DMV and pay hundreds of dollars for our car tabs
so we
can finance transit systems where all these lowlifes and homeless people can live all the time.
Which is why I never let a bus in. If a bus is merging, never let a bus in. There's people on that bus that don't have a stake in the traffic that they're in. They're letting the bus driver handle it. Don't let them in.
They're not paying their fair share, Michael. I mean, they get away with all of it. I mean, here they are. The cities and everything are building these transit lanes and putting up light rail and everything all over the place. And for what? So you can sit there and interact with other people.
And also the diamond lane, don't forget. By the way, the penalty for the diamond lane starts at $541 for being an individual driver in the diamond lane. There should be two to a car, but in the Bay Area, you have to have 3. So what's the Bay Area doing that's so important that LA is not? LA says you can be in the diamond lane. All you need is 2 people in the car. You can have 1 person in the car if you have an electric vehicle, an EV vehicle.
Open up the diamond lanes. It's another fallacy. And now they're charging you to go in those lanes. Now here you have to pay a toll to go in those lanes.
So the diamond lane is really good until you get to the toll booth. Then you have to stop completely, pay the toll. So you've lost all
Oh,
the
no, they just
advantages of
take
being
a
in the diamond
picture of
lane.
your big brother is up there. They take a picture of your license plate, and
Sends
you
you a
can keep
bill.
going through. So they're watching you, Michael. I'm telling you, there is nothing like what we can save AM radio. We can have hate traffic talk, and there's people that want to get on and want to talk about this. There's people that want to get on the radio and voice their opinion because these people are never heard from. The only time they get a chance to talk is when they go to some kind of WASDOT public hearing about some kind of extension that they want to put into some road that nobody cares about.
We
Stop
could have,
signs.
we could have, we
Why
could
should
have,
I stop?
we could have hats made. Make America drive again.
Exactly. MATA. It's the
And,
MATA movement.
and does it matter? It doesn't matter, but we say it matters. So make America drive
And we
again.
have our own schools. What's a MATA U? Where we teach people how to.
Oh, that's Florida State.
I'm just telling you, if you're Clear Channel or you're Sinclair or you're one of the big broadcast companies and you got 500 AM radio stations that you don't know what to do with, we got the
Let's
solution for you.
let's go to Cumulus and flip KGO. That'll be the first one. What's the matter you
Exactly.
station?
I mean, is there a primer candidate than KGO for hate traffic talk? Is there a better candidate
Hate
than that
traffic
station?
talk. Traffic hate talk. Hate traffic talk. I don't know which it should be. HTT.
Yeah, hot talk, HTT, hit talk, hate traffic talk.
Hate traffic talk. Hit me.
And we don't identify callers by what town they're in. We identify them by what route they're on.
And what kind of car they're in.
Tommy in a Chevy on I-95, you're up.
Wait a minute. Is that a Chevy Bolt or a Chevy Bolt?
Can't stand it. I'm going nuts.
A Chevy Bolt, a Chevy Bolt. No electric cars on hate traffic talk. Off you go. Me, blow them up.
Well, that's just the liberals trying to get in. You know,
trying to get a word in.
Trying to infiltrate us.
So we will take the Hummer over the.
Yeah, except that they turned the Hummer into an electric car. So now, if you want to buy a Hummer, you got to buy an electric Hummer. You can't go out and buy a regular big pollutant, give them the finger kind of Hummer anymore.
It's like driving an apartment building.
Yeah, well, you can sleep in it too. You know, I mean, there's millions of YouTube videos there on YouTube that'll tell you how to make a home out of your car.
A car home or
Well,
home car?
specialty shows. There's people that have 800,000, 1 million followers on YouTube because they live in their car. When I lived in my car, I was embarrassed to let anybody know about it. But, in this day and age, you put it on YouTube. And people like to watch you and live in your car from the comfort of their own cars.
It's a great format. I'm ready to break it in 10 major markets.
I think we should get up and running in New York with it, and LA and San Francisco and Seattle and probably DC. I mean, we should take those 5 markets.
And let's go back in time and find out who thought that the freeway through the downtown Seattle was 3 lanes was going to be plenty. Yeah, that's plenty. In fact, you won't even use the third one. 2 lanes is really all you need.
Yeah, you only need to sit down to 2.
What's the name of that guy?
After you expand it, by drilling into people's basements, it's still going to be what it is. And who was the person who thought that it would be a good idea when you drive into Pittsburgh that to stay on the interstate, you had to go all the way from the left 2 lanes to the right 2 lanes on the bridge. So traffic all day has to merge like this all day on the bridge.
He did some work in L.A. too when he was finished with that. I know that guy.
If you're going down the left lane, you got to figure out how to get over to the right lane in a quarter of a mile. And I'm telling you, there's nothing funnier to watch in an ice storm.
Ooh.
People trying to get over into that lane.
I'm coming over to your lane. I wasn't even trying to. I'm icing.
I hit the brakes, and all of a sudden, I'm in your lane. I don't know how that happens, but it did. I think Mikey, I think we're on to something. I think we really have come up with, I think we've really come up with the way to save AM radio.
Hate traffic talk.
And you know what's even better? Mikey, think about it. The manufacturers are saying that with electric cars, they can't put AM radios in those cars
They don't want you
because
to
of
get
the
the information.
electrical interference.
They don't want that information.
So the liberals aren't even going to be able to hear what we're doing. I mean, how good is that?
That's perfect. They won't be able to hear it, and they don't even know it.
They'll be driving along listening to their Lawrence O'Donnell and their Rachel
PBS.
Maddow and their Wolf Blitzers and all of those. They'll be listening to all of that stuff and the podcast and the Al Franken and everything. And meanwhile, we'll have our hate traffic talk people.
Al Franken. How did Al Franken get in there? Might as well put in Dick Biondi if you're going to put in Al Franken.
Get everybody involved.
Get everybody in there.
And on Saturday night,
we'll have music.
Music to go to the drive-in through, too.
Cruising music.
We'll have Tony Orlando and Joe Piscopo.
What about the guy from Twisted Sister? Can he do a show?
Both of those people, both of those guys love America. And they're not afraid to show it.
And they're not afraid to hurl. I love America. And I'm not afraid. I get a little upset, and I'm not afraid to hurl. I will hurl.
Let's go to Bill on 405 in Edmonds. What's happening, Bill? Where are you? What are you driving?
I'm driving a Chevy, a 57 Chevy. It's a gas guzzling beauty, and I'm ready to hurl.
And I'm telling you right now, you'll have to pry this gasoline-powered car from my cold, dead hands.
And when we do that, can we have it? After we get your hands off the wheel?
Yeah. I'm telling you, Michael, we have hit on something here on this Monday morning. I mean, I came prepared to talk about so many other things. There's so many other things going on in the world, but don't you know it? That 2 minutes before we go on the air, we come up with this entire concept.
To revolutionize, if not save, AM radio.
Yes, as our good friend Ronnie Brand used to say, we found a hole in the market.
Well, there's a hole in a lot of markets. In fact, it's interesting that KMBR in San Francisco is making holes for other people to take advantage of by losing their programming at a certain hour. There'll be sports talk sometime with some people, but other times there won't be sports talk. It'll just be, radio stuff.
Sports talk is dead. Dead in a doornail. Nobody talk. You know why, Michael? Because we it's not sports talk anymore. It's I'll read your tweet talk.
It's just talk.
See, people are sick of talking about sports. So where does that coveted male 18 to 54 demo going to go? What do they all have in common?
They hate traffic.
Have you ever heard anybody say, God, I love traffic, man. I can't wait to get out there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and sit in that traffic going into Seattle for an hour?
I'm late for my plane, but I'm happy because I do love traffic. So
I mean, and they're a captive audience. They're in their cars. Where are they
What can they
going?
do? We got them right where we want them.
They have time to pick up their phone instead of texting people. They can talk to us.
And
It's
now
safe.
Bernie's undercoding when he signs up for a flight of spots makes more sense. He's targeting his audience. Perfect targeting. We're going to sell tires. We're going to sell batteries. We're going to sell fluids. We're going to sell
We
new
got the
wipers
AAA, and we got so many people that we can sell.
and
All of the
insurance.
insurance companies got to get on.
The law says you have to have insurance. We'll have a whole block of ways to get around it. You little phony insurance cards. It says you got insurance, but you don't. What do you need
Right.
insurance for? It's the government
And
that
it
makes you
has
want
our
that
little
insurance.
station logo right on the bottom. Hate Traffic Talk 1560.
1560? Man, who's going to listen to this? I'd much rather wanted that 810 spot that we talked about earlier.
Well, you got to start with 1560. Work your way.
1510 maybe, but the 1560, my God. I don't think radios go past 10.
Yeah. Well, no, don't they go to 1600? Yeah, because WWRL was 1600.
They say they go to 1600. Oh, yeah, they want you to think they go to 1600, but they don't. Try to listen to a station up above 10. It's just Spanish.
That's
Spanish music and crosstalk.
And that's another thing that we can do someday. I mean, once we get this format rolling, we can work on a hate radio for people that hate radio.
But have a radio in their car. You can listen to radio if you hate radio, and it's the best way to get rid of that radio that you hate by hating it.
That's it. That's the thing is we can now break up. Back in
Ryan Seacrest is never going to hear the end of this one.
Yeah, you remember this, Michael. You were around long enough. In
Elvis
the old
Duran
days,
will never hear the end of it. Yes.
Yeah, in the old days, you used to call up a hate talk station. You could hate several things. It was just one big list of hate. But now we've separated out the formula.
We're narrowcasting our hate.
Right, we're narrowcasting our hate. We can find different things to hate and make formats out of them. We can have a hate radio. We can have a hate traffic radio.
Hate sports radio.
Hate sports, I want nothing to do with it talk.
Hate news radio.
Hate news radio. I mean, if we are gonna go all in for hate in this country, then we're gonna go all in.
And here's the great thing about what radio does when it's a hate radio station. You love it. You don't want to say that. You don't want to acknowledge it. The management loves it. They want you to love it, but don't use those words. Just say you're attracted to it. You're renewed by it. You're inspired by the hate. But don't say you love it. Don't love our hate. We don't need that.
When I'm in love with something, the hairs don't stand up on the back of my neck. But boy, when I hate something, you can feel those few hairs that are left on the back of my neck standing up.
Especially broadcasting on the weekends where you hate different kind of cars, you hate your pet, you hate your neighbor, you hate home improvement.
We could have a whole I hate Naugahyde leather show.
You hate gardening. You hate the garden and you hate gardening. You hate buying fruits and vegetables from the store. You get listen to the specialty programming on the weekend is endless.
Hello, I am Ricardo Montalban, and I'd like to tell you how much we hate rich Corinthian leather.
I hate that stupid fucking leather roof. I hate it. You don't know how I hate that roof.
Do you like rich Corinthian leather?
Oh, no, it's not you. It's Rue. Rue.
Everybody.
It looks good for what? It looks good. What does it look good for? 1 week, and then it starts to peel and fade, and then it comes off, and you don't have a Cadillac anymore.
That's because I hate Armor All so much. I didn't go down to the store and buy any, which would have kept my roof looking beautiful. But no. Nope.
And how to get even with the man? You can make a bomb out of WD-40. Now that's bound to go up. I'm warning you now, that WD-40 bomb will go off as you make it. But make one. Make a couple. Get the hang of it.
Mikey, we have come up in the last 40 minutes here, we have come up with what possibly could save AM radio.
I love it because it's hate.
And I hate to say it, but it really could revolutionize the industry. You know, it is an industry.
Oh, it's an industry. It's a business, a show business.
And it's much easier to find people that hate than it is to find people that love something.
Or are willing to admit that they love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not manly to admit that you love things.
But it's expected of a man that he hates things.
Right. You hate something. I mean, you look at Donald Trump, he hates everything. There's nothing this guy loves. He hates this country.
That's why everything has to be, he has drivers and people who bring SUVs out in front of the courtroom because he doesn't have a car. He hates a car. They break down. They cost money. Somebody else should pay for it. Somebody else should drive. Somebody else should gas it up.
Yeah, he doesn't love anything.
And the security people that put him in his car speed down the road. They've got cops breaking the way. They don't have traffic. They create more traffic. They're in the way, and they want you out of the way.
And what does everybody hate? Everybody hates when you come to when a president comes to town and they block up the freeway there because they have to block it off so some nut doesn't drive his car into the presidential limo. People hate that. Just think of the bonanza you would have in every city where the president was landing. Bill, on I-69 in Cleveland, you understand that the president is coming there today. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. I'm backed up here at I-69. We're backed up all the way to Akron. We have the damn road closed, and you can't get by. Locked up.
How do you feel about that bill in Akron?
It's all, see, they say we're all created equal. How come they shut down the road for this guy? How come they don't shut down the road when I have to get to work?
Oh, they will. They'll shut it down.
And by the way, why don't the Giants trade Willie Mays for Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and Roger Maris?
Because we already got Ray Sadecki, so we don't need anybody else. Thank you for that call.
And sports talk, sorry, we hate that. Get out of here.
If you're mad about something sports, it has to be about Florida State. Please confine your comments to anything about Florida State.
Oh, well, you know what that is, Michael? That is, I definitely call that West Coast bias. You know?
I thought there was an East Coast bias.
Well, everybody thinks there's an East Coast bias, but I think that's a West Coast bias. They took Washington in there and left Florida State out, and because they're from the West Coast. So it's a West Coast bias, my friend.
Washington won all their games. Florida State won all their games. Washington gets to play Alabama. No, Washington gets to play Georgia.
Georgia, isn't it?
And Alabama gets to play Michigan.
I would have rather have seen Washington play Michigan in the Rose Bowl.
That would have been a great parade.
But that would have made too much sense.
Well, they knew what you would hate, so that's what they voted for.
Well, see, that's it. We're not there's not enough hate there. We need more hate.
Doesn't everybody hate Michigan?
How can you hate Michigan? What did Michigan ever do to anybody? Except suspend their coach, steal signals. What did they ever do to anybody?
They sent that Wolverine to Ohio State. That didn't turn out very good. And they did not feed it. It was a mess. What a mess when they opened up that cage.
This is pretty...
If you're home listening and you don't know what a Wolverine is, if you encounter one, do not pick it up. Do not pick up the Wolverine.
Yeah, they really have had no problem at all. Uh, no problem at all. Hating and bringing out a Wolverine. As a matter of fact, there was a what did I see over the weekend? I saw a videotape of a Wolverine, a Jaguar, not the car, but the actual animal, was about to attack. Oh no, it wasn't a Wolverine. It was a Badger. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It was a Badger, not a Wolverine.
Same
I want to
same
make sure.
food group.
But same, yeah, same. I mean, I don't know. If you see a Badger and a Wolverine walking down the street, besides crossing over to the other side, would you know the difference?
Just cross over. We'll figure it out later. But do not encounter the badger or the wolverine.
Well, this damn uh, Badger grabbed onto the ass of the Jaguar, who was trying to assault its little baby and eat it. And the freaking Jaguar looked at the Badger and took off.
The funny thing about badgers and wolverines is they have no fear, so they can't judge situations one by one. They just act like a wolverine no matter what you do, and that presents a problem to the individual who thinks, well, what's a wolverine going to pull on me?
Yeah. Texas is, by the way, I believe, who Washington is playing, isn't it?
Texas was number 4 then, or
Uh,
number 5.
Alabama's 4, Texas is 3, Washington is 2, and Michigan is 1. So I think that they put Michigan and Alabama together, and then it's Washington, Texas, right?
Right.
And I think they play in the Orange Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Or the Cotton Bowl.
I
Orange
went
Bowl's in
I went
Miami.
to I went to I made the mistake of going to King Five's sports page. I'll never do that
Were
again.
you were you were you misinformed?
Well, not that I was misinformed; it just didn't make any sense. They slapped a piece of videotape up there, but didn't put an explanation of what it was. Usually when you do these things, you put the story up, and then you write the
A
story
script,
out so people can read it, right?
not on King 5.
But not on King 5. No, and then they have the video, and then they have like 25 different clickbait advertisements, like Cote de Pablo at 43 reveals all.
What did she say? You could click it, but you never find out.
Well, I don't think that's what they're talking about, her revealing. Uh, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Was it King 5 that had Tony Ventrella?
Well, yeah, what wasn't it, Cairo, and then King 5 had him before? Let's see, 3. Yeah.
I
Let's
thought it
see
was
if we
funny
can.
that KMBR let a bunch of people go and made it part of their format. Guess who we fired today? We're going to talk about it all day. Got nothing to say about the Giants. Giants, by the way, according to their front office, is very excited about the winter meetings where general managers sit around and no trades are made.
Well, it's been an active winter meetings for the Mariners so far. I mean, they traded one of my favorite players,
Who?
Jared Kelenic, the outfielder who they obtained from the Mets for Edwin Diaz a few years ago. They traded him to the Braves along with a couple of other players for 2 pitchers. And I think Kellenic's going to be a star. Yes, they
I
will
don't know.
get. They will.
I don't know. Go ahead.
The Huskies will match up as the number 2 seed with number 3 Texas in the college football playoff,
And they play in
which
Miami?
Sugar Bowl rematch.
Not
Well, I
Miami,
don't know what it.
Atlanta. New Orleans? Where is it?
Oh well, no, I don't know now because now the Times has asked me to subscribe, so you can't go to the Seattle Times, and it's not like the old days where you could buy one newspaper and everybody could share it. Um, now they put the
That's
paywall up,
that's for the hate
which is
news channel, Vinnie.
hate traffic. I hate traffic channel. You know how to have the I love I heart thing? You
Yeah,
can do the I hate traffic.
one of the worst logos in Christendom.
What the I think the original was good. The
iHeartRadio.
yes. Where is the? Let's see.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, I think the Sugar Bowl is in New Orleans, but I mean that's the wisdom. I mean, I guess you're supposed to know by heart. Yes, it is New Orleans. If you go to the Go Huskies page, they have it for you right there on the first page. Travel with the dogs to New Orleans. Visit UW Bowl Central, and they have a beautiful thing of the Sugar Bowl right there on the front page of the GoHuskies.com, which is the Huskies like big site. They are excited about this club up here. I don't know if you know that or not. They're excited about this football team.
They're excited about walking down the street with a hurricane in your hand. Oh God.
They're thinking and they are the Pac-10 champions, or Pac-12 champions, and they've already started to garner a number of awards. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, if you want a travel package to go down there, are you thinking of traveling to the All-State Sugar Bowl?
I'm thinking of not traveling there. But let's talk about the package anyway. What's it going to cost
Well,
me for a week?
January 1st at 5:45 is the game. So let's see the CFP travel packages that they are offering. You can go by land only.
Because going by sea means you have to go around the Cape of Good Hope.
That's the
And then
first thing I see is land
up to the
only.
Gulf of Mexico.
So that's 3 nights, December 30th to January 2nd. Accommodations at the Hilton Riverside, New Orleans, official Washington Bowl reception, and a Purple Rain tailgate. And
How much?
that will run. What do you think?
5,300.
No, that's a bargain. $17.95.
Wow.
And then if you want air and land,
But if you actually want to get there,
yeah, which
means actually going to the game, not just buying a
and
room.
you get the round trip nonstop charter from Seattle to New Orleans. So you get to get in a plane
Or a bus.
Yeah, they don't have a bus package. That's what they ought to have. Charter bus. Spend 5 nights in a charter bus, driving to New Orleans.
Six counting the post game. And they park the bus in front of the hotel and just hope nobody takes the keys.
Fat chance of that happening in New Orleans. Anyway,
happen.
that's so. If you want to get on the charter flight, Um, that'll cost you $3,725 per person. So it's approximately $1,500 airfare, right? To go on a charter flight.
That's if you want to go from Seattle to the actual city where the game is being played. Now, if you want to go
Hey,
somewhere else, or if you want to go halfway by plane and then figure it out yourself, that's
now
cheaper.
Spirit Airlines has a Husky special that's going on where they drop you off over the city of New Orleans. You board
You
one of their
parachute in with a
flights
command.
that's headed for
It's called
Tampa.
it's the commando ticket.
About half hour before New Orleans, they wake you up and they strap on a parachute and they say New Orleans and push you out of the back door of the plane.
And it's Austin, Texas.
Well, you could land anywhere from Lake Pontchartrain all the way down to Galveston. They're not
Where's the
sure.
game? Brother, you're in Baton Rouge. The game's nowhere near here.
Yeah, you got to get on the bus there and take it down to New Orleans.
Yeah, the crosswind always brings people up here to Baton Rouge.
The only way we get visitors. Nobody else comes up to Baton Rouge.
Have a hurricane, y'all.
Not since Huey left.
Have a hurricane and a donut, and we'll talk about it.
All right, so you can sign up for the Washington Huskies Bowl travel update.
Now, the Texans can just drive, so there's going to be more of them.
Right. We saw that. We saw that action in Pittsburgh back in 2005 with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seahawks, where people were just, but I don't know. I suspected a lot of Husky fans will go down there. I mean, it's the first time in a generation that this has happened.
And you have to like their chances against Texas.
Yeah, I like their chances against Texas automatically. And, you have a bowl game where people are going to play because it's a championship game. Sometimes you get these lesser bowls and the players say,
we'll show up.
I don't want to play. My squeegee hurts.
Don't it always?
So, I don't want to ruin my chances in the combine. Let's see. What else do they have here? More details. You get an official Sugar Bowl Washington souvenir.
Just a souvenir? What is it, an ashtray? What is it?
But it's an official Sugar Bowl Washington souvenir. And you get concierge guest services.
Here's a letter of certificate saying that you would have gotten a souvenir, but all we have is this letter of certificate saying you get a souvenir. Enjoy.
We're out of souvenirs. Now here's the thing. You go back to the $1,795 package. It's land only, so if you take the bus.
Do they think we don't know where New Orleans is? Is that the idea they always say, now by land?
I think that they should include passes on every public transportation system.
Back to back.
Between Seattle and New Orleans.
I'm sorry, son, but you're in Washington. We don't have light rail.
Yeah.
We have rail. You can take the freight train, but it's not going to New Orleans.
You start right at the Husky light rail station, right there by Husky Stadium. You haven't seen that, but there's now a train that goes to Husky Stadium,
and it takes you to Seattle Center and drops you off there.
Well, it takes you away from. Well, no, it doesn't go to Seattle Center. They didn't think it'd be a good idea to send it to Seattle Center.
They already have their own.
They got a monorail
railroad. We have a railroad that goes nowhere.
Downtown, it goes up to Capitol Hill somehow. So you could start your journey there, with everybody else that's on the land-only package.
Stick together. Stick together. There's safety in numbers, land-only people.
We've 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 chartered a we've chartered a light rail to take.
And the line's not exactly finished. It doesn't go all the way exactly to New Orleans.
Yeah, it'll be finished by 2028. Yeah, okay. So that's if you want to go now. That's the official Washington Huskies Sugar Bowl fan travel package. Now you can also get on the Seahawks official travel plan package.
And where's that going? It doesn't go
To
anywhere.
Palookaville, baby. To Palookaville. I don't think you're going anywhere on that package.
Well, on that note, I'm telling you that Kristen and I, this afternoon at 2:00, are traveling to Walgreens to get not one, not two, but 3 doses of COVID-19, influenza, and something called the RSV, which sounds like it should be on your Saturday show. I don't know what the RSV is, but we're getting
Yeah,
a shot of that
it's
too.
an Escalade. The Escalade RSV. It's
we're getting
it's a
one.
germ-free Cadillac.
And we're each going to get, between us, we'll have 6 shots, but we get 3 apiece, so we don't have to, and no getting a shot for somebody else. They have to come in and get their own shot.
Yeah, I got mine about a week and a half ago, something like that.
How many shots did you get?
Well, I got the second shingles shot, and I got my COVID shot.
How about the flu?
And I got, when I was at my doctor's office, I got a couple of shots. I'm so like full of shots that I got no idea what the hell I'm getting anymore. I think I got the RSV and the pneumonia shot and the flu shot at my doctor's office.
Now, we can't leave at 2:00. We have to leave earlier than that because we're going by land.
Have you inquired to see if you can go by horse?
The horse has to get a shot before you go. So you got to get your horse.
Wagon that you
Horse
can
got to get a shot, then you can take him to get your own shots.
I don't. You know, there's a part of this that going to New Orleans. I can never stop thinking of Hurricane Katrina, and you know what they did with the dome when it was, you know, when the hurricane was going on. I mean, people were living in there, and not well.
Well, they've hosed that all out now.
You sure?
More than once, because the Saints play there too, you know.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know, Mikey. You'd have to show me some kind of health card because I think that's what the RSV is for. I may be wrong, but anyway, well, yes, the Seahawks this week, yeah, they did
Katrina. Yeah. Well, what are we going to do? Let's talk about the 49ers, 41-19, 42-19.
Well,
we didn't even play the first quarter.
Yeah, nobody showed up for the first quarter. And not for nothing, but when Dom, the security man, gets thrown out of the game.
Well, he was a big guy, but he thought he could take on a linebacker, and the linebacker just slapped him.
I mean, is the world just gone plumb freaking crazy?
And that's your head of security.
Now you got the security guy in there trying to beat on the players.
He didn't look like he was capable.
I don't know, Michael. I mean, he didn't look like he was going to move anytime soon, too. I mean, he was surprised they threw him out. I'm Dom, the security guy.
Then throw yourself out, Dom.
What a clown show that is. I mean, isn't the security guy supposed to, like, sit in the back row and keep an eye on the stands to see if anybody's doing anything?
Well, you want to do that in Philadelphia, or you want to get down and take on a linebacker from the 49ers?
I mean, this guy's like he's up there like an assistant coach.
That's
What
what
do
I
you
thought it
go to?
was.
Oh, I'm security. I'm Dom, the security guy. I tell people where the good restaurants are. It never ceases. Philadelphia is one city that never, ever ceases to amaze me.
Well, they thought the 49ers were coming by land. They came by air.
They came
Got
by air.
there, got a nice rest in the hotel, and we're ready for the play the next day. The Eagles, unfortunately, came by land, but they didn't get the rest they needed.
And we're always complaining that we never see the 49ers owner. And boy, he was there right after that win. I mean, he was down on the field in his red jacket, shaking everybody's hands.
People are going, "Who's this? Who's this guy? Just the director of security? No, he's the owner.
No,
Or
he's
one of them."
left. We're now in an insecure state. That was a bizarre game. And I'm glad it came out on the 49ers side. But I don't
As
know,
I've said
man.
many times, Deebo Samuel does not like to be tackled. Deebo Samuel doesn't really want to be touched. He's very sensitive about it. So when guys run up, big guys, angry guys, Philadelphia guys, run up and try to grab him, he reacts that way.
They look
Like they have
well,
weapons.
I was going to say they look every bit as good as the Cowboys, but I don't know if it was the Cowboys are that good or the Seahawks are just that bad. But once again, in the final 2 minutes of the game, you have a drive where you need to go down the field and score and eat up some clock, and they run like 16 seconds off the clock and go 1, 2, 3, and out. You can't.
Let's try that. You remember that play that didn't work in the second quarter? Let's try it again, but not with less effort.
Yeah, we're a little bit more tired now, so maybe it really won't work. Instead of just not working, it really won't work. I was sitting there going, "What in the world is going on here?" Second Thursday in a row that they played, and now who do they have next week? The 49ers.
Yeah. This time in Santa Clara.
Yeah, that's got all the potential of not being a very pretty game.
It's not as supposed to be, I'll tell you that. For all the times that Richard Sherman ate turkey on our field, now it's time to get even.
Yeah, that just really has all the potential of an ugly game for the Seahawks. But we'll see. Strange things.
It'd be a good time for Cairo not to run the game. Just get their hate traffic station up running.
Well, they got that other station there at 8, whatever it is. There, KKTH. They call it the Truth. They could just change it over to the hate traffic, the HT. They can keep the same call letters
if they want. Yeah.
KTTH. Traffic. Hate. We hate traffic. Hate traffic radio.
Traffic. We hate traffic.
Traffic. We hate traffic just like you do. Although you would have to think that if they hated traffic that much, they would have to put their studio out in traffic.
The rolling studio, the Roadhog.
Right. You'd have to get the Roadhog. To this day, I think we're the only radio show that's ever gone out into traffic and done our show from traffic.
And we were on the 520 in Morning Drive.
Well, but the toll is a lot on the 520 at Morning Drive. It's $8 to cross 520 in the Morning Drive.
$8 to get to town or $8 to get out of town?
I think it's $8 both ways. It's not like New York where they let you out of New York for free. you have to pay $16 to get in, but they let you out for nothing.
But they suspect that you're coming back, so they'll get you for that 16 again.
Well, I think, I mean, how long can you really leave for? It's New York. So we'll catch you on the way out. We'll let you go on the way out, but we'll bang you for double when you come back in.
And New York, unlike New Orleans, doesn't care if you come by land. Or if you come by
Any way you
sea.
want. We got water.
Come
We got
any way you
rail.
want.
And come any you just out of a hang glider. We don't just come. Just come here. We like to run the
$16.
numbers up. Come here, have a meal, go see a show, and then go back. Get out of here.
It's free. You can leave.
Go back to Long Island. Well, it's not free anymore because now they want to sock you for the $23. I mean, I don't know when that starts, but it's not too far away. So you'll have to pay $23 every time you drive into, unless you're low income or, I mean, you want to talk about hate traffic talk. That's where you're going to get hate traffic talk because the average working Joe is going to have to pay $28 or $23 to go in the city for a day. But if you're low income or you're disabled or you're this or you're that, you have, these social things going on, you'll be able to go either at a reduced rate or free.
What if you're just from Hoboken? Just a guy.
Well, that would probably come under disabled.
Sorry to laugh. So
the toll is what is it, $18 to go through the Holland Tunnel. Then you're going to go for $23 to get the congestion pricing. So
for $18, you'd think if you go through the Holland Tunnel, at least you'd wind up in Holland. But no, you're nowhere near Holland.
It's going to cost you $50 before you get a hot dog. At least with $50, they ought to hand you a hot dog or something, Give him a soubrette that he can eat in the tunnel on the way through.
It'll be like an official Sugar Bowl souvenir. This is your official New York souvenir. What is it? It's a hot dog.
They're going to give you an official Holland Tunnel souvenir. They're going to give you a jar of fumes. Mikey, I don't know what we talked about today, but it was a funny show.
I'm going to go get vaccinated. You may never see me again.
If I don't see you again, take care of yourself. And you're going to Walgreens, huh?
Yeah.
We'll call them up and say, use the big needle.
Look for me on the way back. I'm coming by land.
Yeah, you're going by land?
Yeah. Only the Husky deal would have a choice of going by land or some other form of contrivance.
Land only. Leave now. You got to leave today. If you don't buy this package and start walking today, you're not going to get there.
The guy booking it is saying these suckers are coming in over the transom. I can't get the money in fast enough. They all want to go by land.
Everybody, they got an empty plane sitting at the airport. Nobody took the air and land. Everybody went for the 1795. They're all walking. Before
here's $20. Keep the change.
Yeah, it's before you go. Google Maps. Okay. Let's see. New Orleans. Louisiana.
Oh, that New Orleans. That changes everything.
And directions. Let's see.
God.
Okay.
Those poor Husky fans are never going to get there.
Wait, true starting point. My location here in Edmonds, Washington. There's a lot of Husky fans up here. Okay.
They don't know it's a school. They just think it's a football program.
Okay, so if you want to walk, you're out of luck. It says according to Google Maps.
Already you can't get there in time.
40 days to walk it.
40 days in the wilderness.
You can go if you take a bicycle, and remember that this route includes a ferry, you can make it in 10 days.
Give or take.
You can drive in 39 hours.
I wonder where you can leave your bike in New Orleans so it'll be there
I
after
don't
the
think
game.
you can leave it anywhere. I hear it's a pretty not such a good city. But according to this route here, you go 950 hours
By bike?
by walking.
Oh dear. No, I'm not doing that.
240 hours, 10 days by bike. So that's your land times. So if you're buying that package, you better get going
You got to
because
sleep. You got to sleep in the ditch with your bike handcuffed to your wrist, or you're going to wake up with no bike.
now you go by train. It says train will take you 3 days.
Just won't tell you which three.
Yeah, you have to pick three.
That's a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday.
Or we have you can actually get there in 2 days and 21 hours on a Greyhound bus.
Faster than the train.
Yeah. They have the bus that goes, well, you can go two ways. You can go down the coast, down I-5 to Los Angeles, and then go right out Route 10. Will take you right there. Interstate 10. Or you can go through Washington to Boise to Salt Lake City, across Wyoming, down to Denver, Dallas, Houston, and then New Orleans.
Sounds like the coast might be faster.
Yeah, I would think so, because I understand that there's snow in them there hills. Either way, by land is you better bring some spare underwear. I mean, you're going to be on
that's why we stop at 10, 20, 40, and 50 to talk about how we hate the weather on our hate traffic station.
I can't believe that you're not going to get stuck somewhere between Sacramento and Fresno. It's Tule fog time of year, isn't it?
And there's several black holes there that people just drive into, and they're going to Fresno, but you never see them again.
Yeah, they go to the Grapevine, and they're never seen again. Whatever happened to those diamond robbers that were in the Grapevine?
They got away totally without a trace.
Nobody ever figured out that whole deal.
Nobody got arrested. Nobody got prosecuted. Even though the truck driver said that he was one place for an hour and a half, where he wasn't, where his GPS proved he wasn't there.
Yeah, well, you don't really want to falsely accuse anybody.
Oh, the crew did it.
It's not like it's not like that. I mean, they're trying to keep their record straight. The police have never falsely accusing anybody. All right. Well, I think we've been less than productive today, and that's a good thing. Before I go, I just want to I don't know if you remember Annie O'Toole.
Name
from
sounds
the Great
familiar.
American Music Hall. Back in our days in San Francisco.
Yes, I think I do.
Yes, I just found out that Annie passed last week. And a finer woman you'd never meet than Annie O'Toole. She was, if you were in the music scene in San Francisco in the 80s and 90s, but, you knew Annie. And anytime I met so many different people because of Annie in the music. She was the booker for the Great American Music Hall and a couple other venues too. But it's and we used to just have great conversations on the phone. I can't believe that I hadn't talked to her in years, and then her friend called me over the weekend and said, "Hey, Annie's gone." And then I saw it in Polestar this morning. So, just a good woman and somebody who loved KKCY. She loved the station.
And thanks to her, we saw a lot of good shows.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good shows. Saw a lot of great music thanks to Annie O'Toole. So bless her soul. I'm sure she's making it up to heaven, and I'm sure she's hanging with all of those who have passed uh, before her. I'm sure
All
they're
those people
welcoming
who
up
didn't, all those who didn't go by land.
the ones who went by air. Yeah, if you go by land after you go, I got a funny feeling it's not the same.
No, you don't go. You don't end up in the same place. You do
You don't
not.
end up in the same place. All right, Mikey. I'll see you on Wednesday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
Okay. What about the peace, love, and
Oh yeah, I was
Manischewitz?
just going to say, you looked like you had another question, so I didn't
I did,
want
but
to.
it had to do with hate radio, and I don't want to talk about that anymore. We already gave away
Yeah,
that
let's
format for
let's save
nothing. The
that for
Cumulus.
let's save hate traffic radio for
The
Wednesday when
Cumulus.
we'll be
I know
back.
you're going to. I know Cumulus is going to move on this, so you owe us.
I'm telling you right now, don't move on this unless you compensate us. We came up with this idea. This was not something we picked up out of a TV show or a magazine. This is an original idea here. So peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby.
What a wine. See you,
See you,
man.
Mikey. Yes. Okay. You all take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. One of my favorite Christmas toys right behind me, the Texaco gas station. I wish I still had that one.